It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare and Elevate Fitness of Syracuse. Brandon Beane now has an opportunity to hire his own head coach. I know there's a lot of people in an uproar. Like, Beane had a worse year than McDermott. I agree with that. I mentioned that all day today. McDermott, I thought, kept some things together this year. He had a good year last year, good year. There are a lot of things, though, that he's doing over and over again. I mean, think about that third down and long where he just keeps going zone all the time in the playoffs. And somebody might say, well, Bobby Babich is a D coordinator. It's like, yeah, it's McDermott's defense, and Babich has his principles inside that defense, and they have not gotten away from zone and the same defensive principles and third and long situations, and they can't tackle, and they have problems with the medical team, and the defensive players are always hurt, and there's a lot of different things going on. And I understand that the offense gave up 13 points technically off the turnovers in that game against Denver, but he still scored 30 in that game, and the defense got stop after stop after stop after it was 20-10, which I also realize, and all these things are true at the same time, which makes football just such a conundrum, and it gives you a headache at the end of the game because you got to unpack everything. But they've given up 30-plus points all the time in the playoffs. I mean, how many times can you ask a Josh Allen-led offense, 4 turnovers or not, plus a James Cook fumble? How many times can you ask them to score on the periphery over and over and over again? 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 against the Chiefs, against the Chiefs again, against the Broncos. It happens all the time. So I think that's another problem with the McDermott thing, is just he has gone to the well over and over again. I mean, think about just a regular season game in London a couple of years ago. They have 3rd and 6, and he decides to, no, I'm going to run this thing. He puts Micah Hyde on Calvin Ridley. And they ran zone 80% of that game as well. And they just left holes all over the place. So the Bills did something unorthodox. It was a head coach in McDermott hiring Brandon Beane as a GM. Brandon Beane now as a GM can hire his own head coach. Way different offensive philosophy, possibly in line. Are they going to go with do they go with experience and offense and culture and a guy who maybe can give you a 2-3 year window before he wears people down, and John Gruden? Please do not hire Mike Tomlin. We've heard the Kubiak name. We've heard some different names. We've heard Davis Webb. We've heard a bunch of different people. We know Brian Daboll's in the mix. Is Joe Brady a guy who they're just going to be like, just elevate you, and then we're going to bring in a Davis Webb underneath you? We're going all offense all the time. Brandon Beane's going right down a different boulevard. Not going to draft a million defensive picks this time around. They're just going to go all in on Josh Allen, unlock him, year one stadium. I don't know, but it will be fascinating to see Beane in the role of going to get his own guy, which every GM wants to do. Again, I didn't agree with the firing, the timing right now. I would have done it a few years back where there were better candidates. Ben Johnson was out there as well. I don't know if he's sustainable as a head coach. By the way, Ryan Talbot, great point today. I just texted Ryan on the Shout podcast with Matt Perino, where Ben Johnson, yeah, he's innovative. He's a new guy. He's a new flavor. But he passed on 3 easy field goals in this game, where if he takes all the points all the time and it's a playoff game and it's cold and you're home and you can be ahead and your defense hasn't held a lot this year, he takes those field goals, you win that game. Caleb Williams doesn't have to throw a circus pirouette throw. You don't have to go to overtime. You don't have Caleb Williams turning it over 1,000,000 times, plus another interception in overtime. Great point by Ryan on that. Ben Johnson, great coach. I think he'll be there for a long time. But again, bumps, bruises, trials, tribulations, all that stuff happens in the NFL with Andy Reid even. And they're like a mini dynasty, still maybe trying to rebound into that dynasty. You're going to have that now with the Bills no matter what. Sean McDermott, being a head coach, you're going to have it. Now you're going to have it maybe times 2. We don't know. This could blow up early. It could succeed early. It could succeed late. We don't know. I'm just saying that Brandon Beane has a opportunity here as a GM to hire a head coach, which every GM has the chance to do. That's really more what this video is about than anything, with a few things sprinkled underneath. Mike Lindsley, ML Sports Take, brought to you by our good friends at Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare, Chick-fil-A of Cicero, and Batavia Downs Gaming. Stay, play, dine, and win. Book your package now at BataviaDownsGaming.com. Thanks to select partner friends of the program as well. The Swan and Whitaker families, Bob Lindsley, Mark L. Birdie, Dan Davidson Jr. and Sr., Scott Carey, Carol Ann, and Pat Nugent, and Craig and Jeanette Elwood. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.